The title of the article says it all. This is from Eon Higgins, staff writer at Common Dreams. I'll link it down below. Disturbing and dangerous. Journalists denounce judge's orders for outlets to turn over protest footage to Seattle police. This turns journalists into an arm of the government. We are not here to do surveillance for the police. At least they shouldn't be. But oftentimes we've seen just these media outlets, including papers like the Seattle Times, just print word for word whatever the cops tell them without any type of independent verification. So take that with a grain of salt. Journalists and civil liberties advocates alike condemned a ruling Thursday by a county judge in Seattle, Washington, instructing a number of city media outlets to give police photographs and video footage taken during a May 30th Black Lives Matter demonstration against police brutality. This turns journalists into an arm of the government, tweeted journalist Matt Pierce. We are not here to do surveillance for the police. At least they shouldn't be. The extremely troubling ruling applies to Seattle Times and local stations Cairo, Como, King, and KCPQ. 5 outlets were subpoenaed by the Seattle Police Department for a 90-minute span of footage that shows demonstrators police say were responsible for property destruction and the theft of some guns during the protest. This ruling is disturbing and dangerous, the paper's Metro editor Benjamin Woodard said on Twitter. Our newsroom does not work in concert with law enforcement. You shouldn't, at least. Stop it. Times executive editor Michelle Matassa Flores told her paper that the ruling puts our independence and even our staff's physical safety at risk. The media largely exist in large part to hold governments, including law enforcement agencies, accountable to the public, Matassa Flores said. We don't work in concert with government. It's important to our credibility and effectiveness to retain our independence from those we cover. In his ruling, King County Superior Court Judge Nelson Lee rejected the outlet's argument that content was protected by Washington State Shield Law. According to the Times, Lee ruled that the SPD had met its burden to overcome the Shield Law, that the images were highly material and relevant and critical or necessary to prove an issue that has a compelling public interest for its disclosure. Getting the stolen weapons off the street was one of the compelling interests Lee found. This should alarm readers and viewers, tweeted CNN national correspondent Ed Lavender. Journalists must be allowed to work independently. Indeed, I mean, it's an attack on the freedom of the press, and they're right to point out that these media outlets should be in large part exist to hold the powerful accountable, including factions of government like the law enforcement that often are out there just doing, crazy stuff, brutalizing people, committing crimes, covering up crimes, etc. And, by this judge, forcing these media outlets to provide them with footage or video, it's attack on the free press and their integrity. And I hope these media outlets, their legal arms would challenge us in court or the ACLU or different press freedom groups, because it is a attack on the free press and it should be condemned and called out. It's disgusting. Peace, much love.